let's just call it what it is. I misjudged the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins, I fell into it. I think a lot of people really just fell in love with the style of offense that they were doing. The track meet style offense. It was hard for teams to keep up with them. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert, all guys, these are sub for sure. 4.3 40 guys. Tyreek Hill, easily a 4.2 guy. Jalen Waddle, probably a 4.2 guy. Raheem Mostert, later on in his career, probably a 4.3 4.4 guy. Still easily a track meet offense of a team. Tua Tagovailoa was slinging it. I was one of those people, I was like, is Tua better than Justin Herbert? And then, of course, that came to be really stupid, and I probably have egg all over my face, but that's the beauty of sports media and having opinions. I'm allowed to change my opinion. Tua Tagovailoa is just an average quarterback. I don't think Tua is a top 10 quarterback. I mean, he looks like he is just under duress all the time. The offensive line is not doing him any favors, and it just seems like everything is harder for Tua when he plays a team similarly to like Dak Prescott, right? When they play really good teams, they just struggle. These teams with good head coaches, with good defenses, they take away the big explosive plays, make you do everything underneath, over the middle, and it's got to be quick. It's got to be fast. Teams are bringing the house on them, and it just looks completely different. I mean, if there's one stat that really shows exactly what the Miami Dolphins are right now, 0-3 against winning teams, 6-0 versus losing teams. It's teams like Kansas City, like Philly, like San Francisco, or the Bengals, where they can just slow everything down for the Miami Dolphins, make it that much more difficult for them to run their offense. And it's just tough. It's just tough. I mean, what do you expect Miami Dolphins to do now? I'm sure they'll get into the playoffs. They're not a Super Bowl winning team. They're just not a Super Bowl contender. I know people will say, well, what are you talking about? Of course they're a Super Bowl contender. Anyone that gets in the playoffs, sure. I wouldn't bet my money that the Miami Dolphins are going to go to the Super Bowl this year. I wouldn't bet my money if they're going to be in Las Vegas this year hoisting a Lombardi trophy. They're missing guys like A-Chain, the rookie that was absolutely tearing it up for the few weeks in the NFL season, was one of the best rookies. He hurts his knee. He's out for a couple of weeks. The run game takes a little bit of a hit there. The offensive line, not as good as we thought. It's one of those finesse track meet teams that, again, teams like Kansas City, San Francisco, the Bengals, the Eagles, tighten things up, make you take everything underneath, play you really physical, and then you can just really move them around. I mean, there's just not much pizzazz anymore with the Miami Dolphins. If you can contain the big plays that Miami is consistently running, there's a really, really good chance that you can beat the Fins. And at this point, I'm not blaming Mike McDaniel. What Mike McDaniel does, he continues to put guys in good positions to score, puts them in the best positions to make big plays. This falls on the quarterback. This falls on Tua Tagovailoa. Tua, and I was one of those idiots that said Justin Herbert has Tua Tagovailoa caught up to him or surpassed him. I mean, that is one of the dumbest takes I've ever had. Until things change, Tua Tagovailoa, you can't put him in the top 10 of quarterbacks. Tua is a really good distributor. He's a really good point guard. Rajon Rondo in the NBA is a good comp to what Tua Tagovailoa does now. Gets it to his superstars quickly, but when defenses make him really tighten things up, make him really have to make precise reads over the middle, bring the house, scare him a little bit, force him into bad throws, Tua's just kind of average. Tua now, I mean, at some point in the NFL season, he was like one of the favorites to win the MVP. Tua Tagovailoa is not even close to a favorite for the MVP. Tua's more like a 15 to 16 quarterback. I mean, at this point, I'm a big critic of Dak Prescott. If you gave Dak Prescott all these weapons, I kind of feel like the Miami Dolphins would have a better chance. This falls squarely on the shoulders of Tua Tagovailoa. This was the season for him to prove it. He did it for the first couple of weeks. They won September. They won half of October. But every time they face a team that is able to really be physical, rough them up, take away the big plays, they're like a pitcher who throws a really good fastball, but has no off-speed stuff. Nothing else they can go to. They'll blow you by. Aroldis Chapman is a really good comp. Man, he'll throw the ball 105 miles per hour down the plate. Not really so good locating pitches. And that's kind of what the Miami Dolphins are. They remind me a lot of the USC Trojans right now. The offense, the track meet style, star quarterback, elite receivers. Oh, they'll run you out of the building, especially if you're a subpar team. If the University of Hawaii is walking in to USC Stadium, oh, get your track shoes ready because it is going to be a rout. But what happens when USC plays Washington, plays Utah, plays Oregon, plays Colorado? It's not as easy because other teams are also able to blow you away with some track meet type speed, hit you over the top, because this Miami defense, similarly to the USC defense, it's not good. It's not good at all. It is a really soft defense that you can rough up and beat very easily. Just very, very easily. It's easy to rough up this Dolphins defense. I mean, their offensive line's not very great anymore. It's not holding up like you wanted it to in the start of the season. Its defense is not great. And if you can limit the big plays, there's a really good chance that you can beat the Miami Dolphins.